We're Nicki and Carlo and we live in Positano, Italy, except we also just bought a house in Tuscany, which we're currently renovating, so we live there too. Join us as we turn this house and olive grove into a dream home and get to grips with living in two different parts of Italy.
Come andiamo a casa di Peppe, Elisabeth? Guarda qui che schifo di tempo.
We need to dress right. Maybe we need hard hats and definitely waterproofs.
Sì, ma non possiamo prendere l'ombrello con questo vento.
No umbrella. And the dogs will have to stay at home.
No, loro non possono venire, se no si bagneranno subito. Se non mi sbaglio, avevo un impermeabile che usavo sul motorino quando andavo in giro sul motorino quando pioveva. Vediamo se lo trovo nell'armadio. Il resto della roba sta già in Toscana. Ma tu guarda il pantalone e la giacca. Con questo posso andare, con questo non mi bagno. Poi mi servirà anche un casco.
Yeah, I need something as well. What am I going to wear? You see, these are things that when you live in a normal place, you don't have to think of because your car's right outside your house or your building. And you don't have to think of the fact that you are going outside in a gale force wind and you're running down a mountain where the rain is also running down the steps as well, and it's coming sideways and this way, and you're going to be out for about 15 minutes. So yeah, you really do have to dress for the weather here. And seeing as most of our stuff is in Tuscany, we're not so well equipped anymore. At least I've got my rubber boots here. I only washed my hair last night, so I don't really want to get it mucky. So I've got the thickest hat I can find. Which weirdly matches my jumper. My very stylish waterproof bag, and in it I have a pair of big fluffy socks because I don't want to spend the rest of the day in my wellies.
Grazie.
No, ascoltami, entravano un sacco di gente adesso alle 11 a prendersi il gin tonic, tutto.
Yesterday we all met up in Priano. We had a very rainy walk on the beach and then we went and had lunch at Sagia, a very, very small little cafe in the centre of Priano, and we had great fun there. We did a sort of make your own dessert where Piccoletto actually made these little like profiterole buns, and he made a sort of like custard cream to go in them, but then he gave us a saucepan of the cream and a tray of buns and we had to fill them ourselves. So it was like make your own dessert. It was quite fun. Anyhow, we had this crazy idea that today we would have a barbecue, and it is obviously, as you can see, the worst weather for a barbecue, but actually on their terrace here it's quite cut off from the wind. It's nothing like at our house where it's like all hell has broken loose. It's quite calm here. So Pepe's going to be outside barbecuing and we're going to sit down and have a nice meal all together, which is great because it gets us out the house. Obviously we left the dogs at home, but I think we would have gone mad if we'd stayed at home today, stuck in the house all day long.
Peppe, qui è molto diverso, da noi il vento è fortissimo, qua è proprio poco poco.
Part of Positano, the name is La Sponda. Means a part of the town in between, exposed to the wind, but not this wind, because Tramontana come from north, come from mountain. Okay, and we are in a protection area about the wind. The wind we feel are the wind come from the sea. Scirocco and Libeccio. Scirocco come from southeast and Libeccio come from southwest.
Okay. So you are more exposed to Scirocco wind?
Yeah, Scirocco is very strong and we feel very well because everything around when it's very strong.
Yeah. And I want to show you why the north wind don't come here. Because you know, this is the solid rock. It's impossible this wind come from this way. Okay, we are protect here.
Lascialo un altro po'. Io mi piace più cotto.
So, same as yesterday, we are making our own desserts.
Because there was no bar open to buy sweets, and we are so spoiled in summer to get all different types of cookies. So today Nicki has to make her cookie by herself here with us. Denk dran.
17, 16 e 15. Amore.
Und dreh das jetzt?
Però stavo parlando di ero.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm full of cold. This is my first time out in a few days. So the winds lasted for 3 full days. It was incredible. It was so strong and it went howling around the house for days and days. And then yesterday morning, around about 10, it suddenly stopped. And now we've got beautiful blue skies, blue seas, and it's back to normal. Just a couple of trees down on our way out from the house. And now we're back to normal. So we've had a few days of like downtime because we haven't really been able to do much. We haven't been able to go out. We haven't been able to go for walks in the woods because it was too dangerous. I've been full of cold, so I haven't literally been out of bed or off the sofa for a couple of days. This is my first time out. And now we're trying to get back to normal. Carla's just realised that the electricity in our house in Tuscany has been off for about 36 hours, we think, which means all of my food in the freezer is probably starting to melt away, which means I'm going to have to throw everything away. So I'm just trying to call round and get somebody who's there in the town to go over to the house and check it out and maybe flip the switch and flip it back on. See if we can find somebody to do that.
How is strange for me. This time I come back in Positano and my feeling is very different than because before when I go out Positano I'm in a holiday and then when I come back I have to work. But this time I work outside Positano in Tuscany, of course, and then I come back in holiday.
We're having a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had to do much at all here this time. Just a bit of gardening.
I'm very relaxed.
Yeah.
Relaxed.
But this is the time of year, so mid-January is the time of year that so many people in Positano leave and go and have a big holiday in Thailand, usually in Phuket. And I'm really feeling like I want to go too.
Yeah.
We did it once. We went when it was her 5th birthday, so it was what, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, and we had a holiday there, and it was beautiful. It was bizarre. It was very strange being in a new country and know so many people there, because we'd walk around the streets and the beaches and go into the restaurants, and we'd know everybody because there were so many people from the Amalfi Coast there. It was like a huge meetup, so it was good fun, and we've never been back since. So I was actually looking at flights and packages this morning. I'd love to go. Would you want to go?
Sì, ce lo meritiamo. Noi
Yeah.
è più di un anno che non andiamo in una vera vacanza.
So our last proper holiday was Australia and New Zealand, no?
Yeah.
And that was
A long time ago.
2017, I think. 2017 or 18. So that was the last time. And then before that, it was 2008. So yeah, we don't often go on holiday, but I really want to. We need to find somebody to look after the dogs. That's the problem. That's why we don't go far, because of these 2 little aminals that need people to look after them. So we'll see maybe if we can sort something out. I'd love to get away for a while.
Sì, ma è anche bello fare delle piccole vacanze, portiamo i cani con noi.
Yeah, I love that too, but in January and February you're not gonna get a very nice, relaxing, warm holiday with the dogs.
Not here.
Not around here.
Vabbè, questi sono parte dei nostri piccoli sogni, fare delle cose come tutti quanti, perché noi siamo esattamente come tutti voi.
Although some people might argue, but you live in a holiday resort. Yeah, we do live in a holiday resort. Positano is pretty much a holiday destination, but we are living our lives here and working here, so we're not like sitting at the beach every day and having all our meals made for us in hotels and restaurants. It's definitely not the same thing.
Sia chiaro però che noi non ci stiamo lamentando, stiamo solo raccontandovi dei feeling che abbiamo, dei pensieri che abbiamo.
Basically, for me, it's just for the last few days I've been watching on Instagram all of the people from here slowly heading to Bangkok and Phuket and seeing them arrive there, and I'm like, oh, I want to go too. That's what it is. That's what's kicked it off for me.
Sì, anche la nostra Sky e il suo fidanzato stanno progettando un viaggio.
They're organising a massive trip away. So yeah, I think it's in the air at the moment.
Sì, e poi quando senti le persone così vicino a te che progettano per un viaggio, ti viene voglia anche a te, dici, ma anch'io voglio andare, voglio fare.
Sì, yeah. All right, let's carry on with this walk.
Andiamo.
What are you doing?
Smettila.
You have to concentrate on where you put your feet here, especially this bit. No, go on, keep going.
No, questo è caduto da anni già. Quando facciamo questa passeggiata, spesso mi fermo qui a guardare. È bellissimo guardare dall'altra parte, si vede Positano, l'isola dei Galli, e lì dove c'è quel bellissimo albero tutto curvato ci sono i resti di un'antica torre saracena, torre di avvistamento. Sono qui con Nicki, sei viva
Ciao
voce.
Glenn.
Ciao Nicki, come
Ciao.
stai con te?
Tutto bene, tutto bene. We have a favour to ask you. We've noticed that we have had no electricity in our house since Monday night. And we wondered if you could take the keys from Dickon's house and go round and see if you can put the electricity back on, because I've got lots of English cheese and sausages in the freezer that will be melting.
Okay. Well, it has been quite cold, but yeah, sure. Do it after. I'm gonna go and get the kids from school soon. But if I do it around 1 o'clock or so, is that okay?
For us, any time you could go would be fine. Great, so we've got that sorted. Glenn is going to go round there at lunchtime and he's going to video call us from the property so we get to figure out what the problem is, and hopefully we can save my sausages.
Hashtag save my sausages.
Hashtag save the sausages. Let me explain about the sausages. So the sausages that we get here in Campania are very different from English sausages, and they're also very different from Tuscan sausages. So I don't really have experience of sausages in Milan and Rome and other places, but let's just talk about the ones I know. So I know 3 types of sausages. What a ridiculous conversation. Anyhow, why do I have English sausages in my freezer? Because Dad, when he came over at Christmas, he bought me a whole load of food. He bought me some halloumi cheese, which you can't get here. He bought me some English sausages, and I can't even remember now because it was all such a hurry at Christmas, but there's a load of stuff in the freezer that I'd really love to save because he's only just brought it over, so I haven't had it for long. Anyhow, sausages in this area of Italy are much thicker and coarser. The pieces of meat are much bigger. There's quite a lot of bits of fat in them as well, which I don't like so much. They also often will add fennel seeds, no?
Sì, finocchio.
Finocchio. And they have quite a particular taste, and they're prepared in a very different way. They're so thick that normally you just have to slit them and then flatten them out to cook them. Otherwise they never cook inside. Anyhow, when we get home today, I've actually got some local sausages and I was going to cook them for lunch. So I will show you how we eat sausages in a typical Campania way. And I don't think I need to tell you how we eat English sausages. Sausage and mash with gravy and onions.
Sì, volevo aggiungere che non c'è solo il finocchio, c'è anche il vino. Noi mettiamo il vino nella salsiccia.
Oh yeah, all sorts of things.
Non tutti ce lo mettono. In alcuni posti mettono il vino dentro. Dice, ma che c'entra il vino? C'entra perché è buono.
Oh, it tastes good, yeah. And the sausages from here, I've noticed that we've both noticed they're very different from the ones in Tuscany, which are very salty and a very different texture and taste quite a lot like bacon, strangely enough. And we're not so keen on those ones. So yes, what a weird conversation.
Right, we're back home. Now we're going to do salsiccia e broccoli, sausage and broccoli, which may sound like a weird combination if you haven't been to this area and had it before. So the broccoli I'm talking about is this. And when you go and buy it, they shove as much of it as they can in the bag. So you get a bag really, really full of it. And I need to use all of this. This is already going yellow. So yeah, I mean, look how much I've got here. And I've already used tons of it. So I'm going to sort through this, and you want just like this is cima di rapa, friarelli. So you just want the top bits, the leafy bits, not the thick stalk. So I tend to just take it off the stalk. I'll get rid of any of the yellow bits, and this is going to take me quite a while.
Stavate chiedendo di Luca, che fa Luca? Ecco qua Luca.
Ciao.
Allora, cosa stai facendo?
Stiamo raccogliendo i finocchi, fennel.
Fennel. No, fai quello che sta qui.
O può fare conciato come faceva papà, basta che facevo tagliare fine. Ci facevo postare, aci.
Luca, ma dopo anni le persone ancora non sanno tu che lavoro fai. Dovrà rimanere un mistero?
Sì, lo facciamo rimanere un mistero, così tutti avranno qualcosa da domandarsi.
Perfetto.
Okay, so this is what we're left with, and I'm going to cook all of this in one frying pan, and it won't fit in very well at the beginning, but it'll all shrivel up and it'll all cook nicely in a while. But let me show you the sausages. So here I have a classic Napolitan salsiccia, and it comes, they're like really, really long, so you buy them all curled up. This is just a little bit because I've already used some of it. Now ideally I'd cook this in the juices of that, but I've got Sky and Nicole are both vegetarian, so I'll do it separately. That would be ideal on the grill, but I'm not going outside now. So let's cook the broccoli first. I think the nearest thing you can get to this type of broccoli in England is purple sprouting broccoli. It's fairly similar. It's not quite the same though. And this is nice cooked up with some olive oil, garlic and chili pepper. Now I add a little bit of water into the pan so it doesn't burn, and it also helps the broccoli cook a bit more so that it shrivels up and then there's room to put more in. Right, I leave the broccoli to cook for probably about 20 minutes or so, maybe a bit more. I'll test it. Sometimes it's more tender. This is quite a tender one. Sometimes they're a little bit tougher, so they need to cook for longer. And generally here they would serve broccoli and salsiccia either with spaghetti or with in a sandwich, so they have a panino with broccoli and salsiccia. If you want the vegetarian version, take out the sausage and add mozzarella. So broccoli and mozzarella in a sandwich or in a focaccia is quite a popular thing here. And today I think I'll add a bit of spaghetti and have broccoli and spaghetti for Sky Nicola, and then with some sausage added into it for Carlo. It's also a very popular pizza topping. So you would get a pizza with broccoli salsiccia, it would have a mozzarella base with no tomatoes, and then there'd be this on top and little bits of sausage. So often they'll take the sausage out of the skin and just crumble it into the pizza or the spaghetti. That's how it's cooked. Yeah, I've got to do it because that's the video. These are just some mushrooms that we get here. They're big flat mushrooms that look like this when you buy them, and they're really nice grilled. Now my grill pan has vanished off the face of the earth. I don't know what's happened to it. Too cold to get outside and barbecue, so I'm just throwing them in a pan, but they're really good, and you don't often find them. I think they're similar to chicken of the wood, but I'm not sure. I'm not a mushroom expert. So I've just added the sausage for Carlo, so that's his. And then Sky and Nicola can have that. And I'm just going to have broccoli and mushrooms. Don't want pasta. And if you're like Daddy, you put some pecorino or parmesan on it. I say pecorino goes better. This is Mommy's plate.
Dove te lo metto, amore?